Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I've got something else I picked up on eBay. And now, this wasn't anything I was actually meant to be doing a video on. What it was, I needed an enclosure for a little project I was doing for someone. And I picked this up because I thought that the case from it would actually be quite good for this little project. As it turns out, it's actually a tiny little bit too small for what I wanted, and I've actually found something in my attic which will work better anyway, so I didn't actually need this. But it was only cheap, and it's kind of vintagey, so I thought we'd take a look at it. What it is. Now this is a, I think it's AXEL brand, and this is, it's marked up as a plantain terminal. Now, what I thought this was, or what I presume it is, it's like a little thin client computer. So basically, if I'm right, it's like a little cut down PC which would have just been used as a network terminal. It's reasonably vintage. This is from 2007, so it's not, you know, it's not vintage, but it's certainly got, you know, it's obsolete, it's old. What I thought we'd do in this video is, seeing this isn't going to be of any use for the, like I said, what I had initially intended this case for, and that's all I was really interested in it for, was the fact it's a nice metal slimline case. Unfortunately, it's just that little bit too slimline for what I was planning for it. What I thought we'd do in this video is power it up, see what it does. Have a look on the back. Got a yes, that side we've got power input, so it's got a power supply built into it. VGA keyboard, we've got some network LAN ports, parallel port, no serial on it, and a couple of USB ports on the side there. What processor it runs, what operating system it runs, or anything like that, I haven't got a clue. I haven't actually tried powering this up. This is literally as you've just seen it. As soon as I got it out. So the problem with grabbing stuff off eBay, I thought it was actually 1U, which is what I wanted. It's far smaller than 1U. It's like half U. So what I'll do is I'll reset the camera. We'll get this set up on the bench. We'll do a reverse Dave Jones, and we'll actually switch it on and see what it does before we take it apart. So let's get and do that. Well, I've got the client out. I found a power lead. It's a bit dodgy. It's been a bit taped up, but at least it'll plug in. Don't know where all my Mickey Mouse leads have gone. You know, that's like laptop power supplies generally used like that. I should have loads of these. I can't find. This is the only one I could find. It should do. It should do anyway. It's just a bit old. Right, I've got a keyboard here. There we go. The only thing I can't find is any PS2 mice at the moment. All the mice I can find are either serial or USB. Seeing I've got USB slots on the side, we might see if we can get away with that. That's the keyboard plugged in. We'll plug some power into it. Switch it off. We'll plug some VJ into it. There we go. Right, okay. So that should be enough to get us something on screen. I'll stick a USB mouse up it just as well, just to see. These things usually run something like, it might be running XP, Windows 98, something like that. That's if it is running a Microsoft operating system, we really don't know. Well, I've never seen these running any flavours of Linux, but it could be possible. Right, we've not got a lot of length on that lead. I can barely reach the plug. There we go. Managed it. Let's switch the screen on. Okay, let's switch on and see what it does. It goes beep. AXEL plantain terminal. But I'm guessing this is running some flavour of Unix or Linux or something. Obviously, it can't find anything because it's not connected to. So it's not running. It's not running Windows or anything like that. Can we break out of there? It's obviously just seeking a particular IP address, which obviously it's not going to find. But it does seem to function. It does at least power up. What I think we'll do, we'll get all this disconnected and we will open it up and have a look inside. I don't know what the usefulness of this is actually going to be for its original purpose, because it is completely obsolete, but the case is definitely going to be of use. It's just unfortunate it's not of any use for the project I was originally intending it for. See if I can get you down a little bit. There you go. And I'll get you in a bit closer when we get inside it. Where my glasses go? I can't see without them now. That's better. Let's see if that's going to fit. And they're those weird screws which aren't quite a proper Phillips. I think they originated from Japan. I know there's a special screwdriver you can get for them. You can usually get away with a Phillips. There we go. Get inside it. There we are. Oh wow. So that is very, very integrated. We'll have a look in there. I'm guessing that's the CPU under there. Then we've got, that's the power supply in there. So the power supply is a separate board, which is nice, which means if I do want to repurpose this case for something, we've got a really nice little standalone power supply inside it. I'm guessing that's the boot ROM there. Made in France. We've got on there. It's a TB200/G1 or GI. I'm trying to see where the what everything's stored in. It must be some flash ROM or something. I was expecting to find a little bit more in here than that. I have messed about with like thin clients and things before, and they've had a little bit more to them than this. This is very, very pared down. I wonder what the processor is there. I'll have to get this sticker off it. Let's see if we can get this sticker off and see what we're actually what we've got in here. One that's not going to want to come off. I tell you what, I'll yeah, 'cause it might take me a minute to get this off. I'll just pause the video and I might reset the camera so you can actually see this a little bit better, and we'll get that label off and we'll see what the big chip under there is. I'm guessing it's the CPU, but it could be like pretty much everything in one on this. So back in a sec. Okay, well that was a good 10 or 15 minutes of scrubbing with some cotton buds and some IPA to get that off, and I even had to resort to a bit of WD-40 to loosen that label. But basically what we've got here is it's an STPC. Now I'm not 100% on these things, but from what I think, if I remember correctly, it's literally an entire computer on the chip. So this thing has got the CPU core in it. It's got everything to deal with the RAM, which I think is just off shot. Just let me bring the board. These two ICs here, I think, are the RAM for the system, and pretty much everything else, like I said, the VGA, the CPU core. I think a lot of things to do with the network, keyboard, mouse control, everything really is handled by that one CPU there. I'm sure, if I remember correctly, I think it's got like a Cyrix core in it or something like that. You don't need mega computing power for something like this. And then obviously I think we've got boot ROM there. We could have some flash RAM there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that might be some flash RAM there. I'm not sure about that IC there. All the rest here is just like a little bit of glue logic. We've got some 7400 series there. Similar, like I said, basic glue logic apart from that. So this thing is like mega simple. I'm guessing even things like the USB they're all controlled by the what's literally a PC on a chip. I will see if I can pull some data up on that IC. Unfortunately, it's very hard to read the part number on it. I can make out the STPC quite easily there. But the actual part number underneath and all the rest of the code, it's very hard to see with the naked eye, even with my glasses on. I'll probably have to get my microscope out and see if I can get the code off that and do a little bit of a look up, see if I can find out exactly what it is. But I think I'm along the right lines. Because if anyone can correct me on that or confirm what I'm saying, then please just leave a message in the comments section below. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a huge amount I can really do with it. Everything will be contained in that flash there, I should think, and I can't see any way of flashing anything else onto there. There's no pin headers. I can't see any programming header or anything like that. Possibility it could be possibly done through like the LAN connection or something like that. I will have to look up, see if there's anything I can actually do with this board before I consign the board to the spare parts bin, and find something really interesting and cool to do with this. Case. I like the fact that it's got a really nice little switch mode power supply there that's independent of the main board, so we can, like I said, we can do away with that and we can utilise that little switch mode power supply there. We can reutilise the on LED on the front. I've got a few ideas what I could possibly use this for. I know I've got a Raspberry Pi lying around which I've always intended to do something with and actually build into something. This might make a really nice little case for that Raspberry Pi, because it's got its power supply there. We've got plenty of ports on the back to add some ports to. Either that, or I've got a couple of orphan 48K Spectrum boards that don't have cases. we could do something interesting, perhaps with a 48K Spectrum board, something along the lines of what I'm still doing with that ZX81 when I get back round to that project. I'm just thinking for the future, thinking things I can possibly do with this, because it is a nice, neat little, it's a really nice, neat little case. Where's the top of it now? There. It does lead itself to definitely building something. Actually, I don't know which way to go. Or perhaps use it for one of them Raspberry Pis. I've got a couple of Raspberry Pis kicking about somewhere actually. Using one of them into it and making like a little retro emulation rig out of it or something like that. Or, like I said, I do have a couple of Orphan 48K Spectrum boards which don't have cases or anything. I could put a 48K Spectrum in here. Perhaps build some kind of build an SD reader in or something, so we can load software from SD, or even actually it'd be quite. I tell you what would be quite cool. We could put a Speccy in here. And build a little MP3 player into it as well. And stick a USB stick on into the side of it full of Spectrum games and load them up. We'd need a attachment for a keyboard and some joystick ports on the back, and that could be quite a cool little project. Because I'm just thinking out loud things I could do in the future with this thing. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. We're only just going to be a quick little video just to show you another piece of junk which I've picked up. Which, like I said, it's not going to work for the purpose I originally bought it for, but I'm sure we can figure out something else reasonably cool to do with it. And like I said, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video. So, thanks for watching and goodbye.